Let me tell you a story. Most of my academic successes has not been through hard work. I'd get a test, and usually it was like 2 weeks preparation time, and I would simply procrastinate so much. Simply couldn't sit down and focus on the preparation for the test. I'd simply lock myself up in the room, and I'd have my phone out and just simply watch playthroughs, just do raids on Clash of Clans, right? And as soon as footsteps would kind of approach my room, I'd simply hide the phone, just pretend I was reading. I'd have 14 days, 7, 6, 4, it's getting really tidy now, 3 and 2 days, and I got to read. I got to pull all-nighters to kind of pull in for the time that's been lost. I'd sit all day and I'd sit and read and study to maybe 2 a.m., then set an alarm and then wake up again for 4 a.m. So I get just 1 hour of sleep max. Study day is coming up. I do the test, feel like shit, go home, and then I'd get the test result maybe 2 weeks later, and I'd get the papers, then check it. It's a B. Thank God, it's a B. I'm safe for now, at very least. And I would kind of repeat this cycle all through my school years. In total for 6 years, I'd do this kind of bad habit of just shallow work, then clutch it. I did this for 6 years. I got good enough grades, or at least not bad grades. I got baggy eyes, of course, because you got shitty sleep. And I'd simply have a lingering addiction to technology. I could never just do the work that really needed to be done. Nowadays, there are no more tests. I don't have any school, or at least not the threat of failure, kind of the punishment I would get for getting bad grades. I got only myself, and my brain simply feeds me bad advice. It's my lizard brain that just keeps on feeding me bad thoughts and doubting feelings about the work that I do. I try to sit down, do a dopamine detox routine, but I'll simply get bad thoughts all the time. How many scripts do you need to read? My brain just keeps telling me that, oh, you don't look presentable. You should maybe just wait a little before you record. You should go eat something, maybe tidy up the office, make sure that everything's nice and tidy. You get this limiting beliefs that you're not good enough to record any videos. The deep focus has never been established. My brain just won't shut the fuck up. I'd get cravings that are supposed to escape the reality, but both you and I know how that goes when you listen to your lizard brain and do the bad habits anyways, even though you got work to do. Would you trust an alcoholic your liquor? Would you trust a child with small pieces or toys that he could easily just swallow and then suffocate? Most likely not. Why do you give in to your own cravings? Keep making the same mistakes. You promise that you will go out today, go out in nature and try to reduce screen time. You promised yourself that you will hit the gym, but your lady just suddenly wants to cuddle and now you want to skip the gym anyways, because it's too late to go. You know you have to study, but you only just want to watch one more video before you start, right? You cannot trust the mind of an addict, and you are an addict, and so am I. You cannot trust your own brain. You're an addict simply when sort of media or the substance, the uncontrollable feeling that you want to do set activities, but your own willpower cannot overpower it. You don't have the willpower to stay away from it. And some dumbass gonna say that, oh, but you're over exaggerating, man. I'm only looking at my phone. I don't smoke. I don't do anything harmful activities like that. Dumbass. Well then, let's see. Picture this for me. You got a meth head that simply wakes up and he's been told by his doctor that he needs to lay off the dope because if he don't, he won't have custody for his children anymore. You see, he lost his court case to a sexist judge, and now he's lost custody over his kids to a woman, even though the woman herself is a pig. She may take dope once in a while. She's going out to nightclubs every single day to check up on other men, leaving her kids at home. Even though she does these kind of activities, she still has full custody of her child, of his children. And he's furious, right? He wants to see them so desperately bad, but he's simply been robbed by the society he lives in of fatherhood. Because even though he takes dope, he would never in the world be a danger to his kids. He would never hit them, raise his voice against them. The children means a lot to him, right? So even though his mind is a wreck, he's still willing to try out and then get back the right to see his kids. Before he starts, he's simply just going to have one more hit of the pipe, one more joint, one more drink, smoke, whatever, right? He's gonna have one more hit because he's already really down bad. What's one more hit gonna do anyways for the big picture, right? So he lays down, sits in his bed upright, and then gets another joint. The minutes pass, hours pass. He doesn't make any breakfast. He looks up at his phone whilst he's doing kind of dope. Before he knows it, it's afternoon. He hasn't really done anything, even though he promised himself he was gonna do the activities. He's done nothing today. He's long gone. And hence, that's why he won't see his children. He's gone one step back towards reaching for his goals. A father, a family, and the future of his children depended on him doing the hard choices and not listen to his own lizard brain. But he does not have the willpower to lay off the crack. Then there's you. You're 17 years old, starting out in high school, and here you are starting a new class. You like to meet some new friends, but you also got a keen eye for the ladies, right? You don't like the heavy makeup ones, the kind of blonde bimbos with push-up bras. You're more into the kind of quiet girls, but those who are more sophisticated and smart. The girls you know aren't corrupted by media and just stupid trends they see on TikTok or whatever. In the corner of your eye, there she is. She's a more slender girl. It's the only girl that you really want, right? You'd love to talk to her, right? You're kind of scared. It's natural. Some days pass, and then you kind of question one of the boys about her, and he simply tells you that she wants to kind of become a lawyer, and she doesn't really talk that much to other people. How you would dream to have connection with her, right? You'd study together, study at the same uni as her. Once both of you have become lawyers, because you don't really have any other goals, start a family with her, the love of your life. But before you want to talk to her, you get the realization that you need to improve. You're fat, you're lazy, and, well, your grades aren't stellar. It's high expectations from lawyer school, so you need to improve. You start to run a little bit more. You try to lay off the snacks. You try to lay off the phone. Of course, you've simply been doing kind of bad activities for most of your life. You don't immediately see results from you running. It feels hard, your feet ache. You know you have to eat greens, but chips are alright. Well, you won't get shredded for summer anyways, right? So you're just craving for a little bit of chips. You'd need to study a little bit, but you simply want to watch one more video or just do one more raid in Clash of Clans, right? You have 3 years to study. You have time. It's raining, so you won't run. You only want to run when it's sunny outside because you don't like the discomfort and being cold out whilst it's raining. You only do the hard work. You simply want to do it yourself. So you lay off the running for a little bit, you eat more snacks, and suddenly before you know it, weeks and months pass, you still haven't talked to the girl. And even worse, you've gained weight. You're heavier than the start of the year. You kind of get this uneasy feeling that you need to improve, right? You really want to improve, but you don't really know how. So in this kind of unsettling atmosphere, you just put on your joggers, you switch clothes, and you just run. Either way, you get this kind of impulse that you need to work out right now. So you leave the house, start running. Of course, you've been eating shit for the last months, so you don't run the whole distance. You start to walk half the distance, and you're bored. So whilst you're walking, you simply look at your phone, and then the jolt kicks in. A punch in the stomach, the gut-wrenching feeling. You're on Facebook, and there she is. The girl that you've been pursuing for several months has posted that she's in a relationship with another guy in your class. You weren't looking at the competition that you had because you thought you were going to be safe. You were going to talk to the girl any day now. Simply because you wanted more chips. You only wanted to run when it was sunny outside. And worse off, you've been disrespecting yourself by simply using technology when you really needed to work. The girl that you wanted is not an option anymore, and she's happy with another man. You lay your phone away, walk, pretend like it doesn't really affect you, but you get this so awful, shameful feeling that you needed to do work, but you just couldn't avoid the cravings. There are two different people, two different stories, but they still have the same fate. They're both addicts, and they were both enslaved by the lizard brain. The brain that keeps telling them bad things, keeps giving them terrible advice, and they're not on their side. To me, they're both addicts. You and I are both addicts. It's not about what kind of activities that you do or which one is worse compared to the other one. Like, you could say that, yeah, of course, phone isn't as bad as smoking. It's kind of different activities. And yes, like, of course, the meth head, he destroys his lungs. His budgeting is all fucked up because he doesn't really have any money. But of course, you got a phone and it dilutes your brain. Both activities end up messing with your time schedule. You won't have time to do the activities that you really set out to do. The result is same. It's the impulse. It's the lack of control over your own situation that keeps messing with your goals. You're both addicts, and it doesn't matter what kind of activities that you have. If you cannot lay off the substance when you really need to do other activities, you're an addict. There's only really two cures for addiction. The most important thing is that you need to know that you have the whole day for yourself, but you don't really respect your own time. One first cure to help against addiction is one, meditation. For someone like me who's been meditating, maybe not consistently, but meditating for several months and throughout the years, the effect is there. Do it consistently for a long enough period of time. The people who say it's boring and say it doesn't work, those are kind of dickheads that simply say that, oh, I tried to meditate for 2 days, it doesn't work. Yeah, of course not, dumbass. Of course it doesn't work. You've been an addict for maybe 5, 10, 15 years doing the bad habit. Of course, you're not going to reverse it simply by meditating 3 times, 4 times. It's a lifestyle change. You need to fix the habits that you do and replace them other slow dopamine activities. If you're a fatty and you simply wanted to go to the gym, you're not going to get shredded in 3 days. You're not dumb. You know, just like I do, you know that that simply doesn't work. You have to do it consistently. Meditation is awesome, and I cannot believe people are not doing it. It feels, the effect is there. You simply have to trust the process. The other activity is a complete dopamine detox, and drastically I feel an improvement in the habits that I do. I only set out to do 4 things throughout the day. I'm going to wake up early, write scripts and prepare my videos. I'm going to eat and bulk up, gratitude journaling. I'm going to meditate, and then I'm going to exercise. Simple 4 activities throughout the day. When you have a timetable and you don't allow yourself to pollute your brain with other stupid activities, you'll have so much more respect for your own time. Even if you want to kind of do other activities, like writing scripts is not entirely satisfying, right? It's not really super fun. So you might think that I want to play chess instead, right? I want to look up online, I want to fix out other things, I want to respond to emails, look at comments, right? When you get stupid bullshit lizard brain thoughts in your brain, having a timetable and having a strict rules, you're simply going to divert the action, the amygdala part of your brain that just keeps feeding you bad advice. It's simply going to divert you back to the work. I'll make a larger video on dopamine detox once I've done it for a longer period of time. Once I see more of the effects, I'm going to list down a video about it. Don't be a dumbass. Don't listen to your own brain, who doesn't want anything good for you anyways. Check the link down below. Join my community today. Stay strong. Work on, brother.